Okay guys, so we finally get some insight into the device that helped save Spider-Man, well, so to speak, in the last issue. A Doctor Strange that is beyond too secretive for anyone's liking. An old man who doesn't seem innocent, well, by the looks of him at least. A set of Scion twins who are completely opposite, and a pair of demonic dogs that have no home training at all. Welcome back to Keepin' It Comic, and today we are continuing with the 8 Deaths of Spider-Man with issue number 64. So look, we finally got some answers on how Spider-Man was able to punch the time-traveling Scion in the last issue. It seems Doctor Strange taught Peter a spell to put into a device that would tell him exactly when and where to be. And just to be on the safe side, Peter also put a timer inside of it too. So if one fails, the other is bound to work. Clearly, Doctor Strange must be traveling through time to assist because Peter had already known the plan was going to work. I'm a little curious too about how much Doctor Strange can intervene when he said in the last issue that intervening was against the rules. But we can see Peter is tired of dying. So of course, he asks the one person who would be able to answer the question the most. How does he stop dying? And Doctor Strange simply says, you don't. And I mean, I clearly get why Peter's annoyed. He's defeated 3 of these Scions so far, and yet they keep killing him every single time. Now this is where things get a little interesting, because Doctor Strange says if the Covenant fails, the pain will be inconsequential compared to everything else. I've told you as well, the Covenant is what holds together the casket. And Peter has the same question I think we all have. What is the casket, and what is it holding back? And I think it's really suspicious that Doctor Strange won't answer these questions. What exactly is he hiding? So a little later in the day, we have Peter and his agent Randy at an art gallery, looking at some photos of Spider-Man in action. And I have to say, the most suspicious old man I've ever seen is glaring into the window. And even though they say that this guy is Alice's dad, something about the way he was looking in the window just doesn't sit right with me. And I think we're going to see that in a later issue. Now, while all this is going on, we have the 2 Scion twins who were watching Peter in the last issue still watching him. Calyx is getting impatient and tells his sister he's going to challenge Spider-Man. Now, it seems the male testosterone even runs through Scion blood because boy, this man is over the top. All he wants to do is battle now and win it because it's a chance for glory. And all he wants to do is please his father. Talk about daddy issues. But it seems his sister is a little more level-headed. She even tells him, you seem to be ignoring the fact that this new champion has already defeated 3 of our siblings. We're strategically more likely to lose. And how does he respond to that? By saying, I've had enough of your silliness. I will defeat the new challenger, and then father will see I'm the best among us. Now, while this is all going on, this whole time, Peter has been on extreme edge, just waiting for the next challenge to happen. The whole time at the art gallery, he was on edge. Now, he's at Community Day, which is being run by his aunt, and this man is still on edge. She asks him if he's coming over for dinner, and he's in left field. It's not too many times you see Peter ready to go like this. And as the 2 Scions watch Peter walk away, Calyx is criticizing Peter for being a hopeless fool while feeding 2 of the ugliest looking pets I've ever seen in my life. And just when you think Peter is gone, Spider-Man gets the drop on both of the Scions and say, I'm ready. Let me guess, you're the next Scion. You represent the inevitability of a-holes. And I gotta say, our boy Spidey is so anxious to get this fight going that our man spun the block, pulled up on his enemies, and said, let's do this right now. I'm not waiting. So Calyx is like, you're bold. Confronted me before I've challenged you. This just keeps getting better. You rush to your death. I'll be happy to oblige you when I decide it's time. And Spider-Man's response is just as smart as you would expect it to be coming from Spider-Man. He says, wow, that's real neighborly of you. So what does Spider-Man decide to do? Better yet, I'm gonna tell you exactly what he said. How about this then? I challenge you right here, right now. Calyx's response? What? No, you can't do that. That's not how this works. I have to issue a formal challenge. And I don't know whose side this gorgeous Scion is on, but she chimes in and says, actually, brother, he can. It's merely a tradition that we issue the challenge first. So of course, Spider-Man is like, wait, I have to fight both of you at once? And she says, no, I am slightly younger than my twin. I would challenge you after he loses. Talk about no faith in your siblings. She said this man already lost before the challenge even started. And seeing how stuck up Calyx seems to be, he says, I am the fourth Scion, the inevitability of pain, and I accept your challenge. Of course, you will have to decide whether or not to allow my crimson canines to unleash agony as you try to defeat me. And just like that, those two ugly hounds go jumping right off the roof. So one of the canines is running down the street, and the little girl says, doggy, and the mother seems like she can't see it at all. I don't know what this thing did, but it looks like it's pulling her life right out of her, and the mother goes unconscious. Spider-Man, quick on his feet, jumps into action and casts a spell, Bomb of Bathsheba. And just like that, the mother woke up and was in a daze. And just then, Spider-Man's spider sense goes off, and he gets smacked with a whip. Now, once again, I have to question Doctor Strange about how much he's hiding, because Calyx says, fascinating. You seem to actually care about these people much more than your predecessor did, I think. So was Doctor Strange just letting people have their life sucked out of them by these hounds while fighting in the past? Because now I'm starting to think a lot of people died because of Doctor Strange. And while this is all going on, the hounds are still running around. And it seems they haven't affected anyone else yet. But Spider-Man has just a trick for that. Spider-Man uses a spell, Binding of Arceus. And just like that, both hounds are entangled in a magical spell. Calyx is like, do you really think a simple binding will stop my hounds? And Spider-Man responds, no, not really. But sending them back to wherever they came from should. And as we see the two hounds start to, sort of decay, Calyx says that was not the Binding of Arceus. And this man, Spider-Man, had me on the floor rolling because he said, nope, Arceus is a Pokemon. Like, for real? This man really tricked a Scion with a Pokemon name. And in the mix of all this, he got a clean hit as well. But it seems our boy Spidey has been getting better in practicing his spells because he says that was actually the Unraveling of Urarol. Someone told me only amateurs call out their spells. So not only did he not call out the spell, he called out the wrong spell and still performed the right spell at the same time. Spider-Man is like, so are we done here or what? And of course, you know these Scions. Calyx says, fool, I will never yield to you. And I swear, I felt it when Spider-Man said, suit yourself. Because the next thing you know, Spider-Man is throwing punches and kicks everywhere. For a moment, I felt like I was playing Marvel vs. Capcom and just performed the maximum spider finisher. I mean, if you look close enough, you can see the horns are going opposite directions of the body. This definitely turned into a one-sided fight at this point. Even Spider-Man said, look, would you just yield? This is embarrassing. I'm embarrassed for you. And I'm a guy who knows what it's like to take a beat down. And yet, this man still did not want to give up. It wasn't until his sister got involved and said, enough, you cannot continue. It is my turn. Then he decided to admit defeat. And at this moment, one thing pops into Spider-Man's head. He thinks to himself, Strange was wrong. I defeated a Scion and didn't die an excruciating death in the process. But it definitely makes me wonder if he wins this next fight, will he have to die twice? But either way, Kyra not only ended the challenge with her brother, but now she has stepped up to the plate and says she is ready to challenge Spider-Man. Spider-Man says, okay, show me what you got. To which Kyra responds, what I've got the inevitability of death. And oh man, guys, I gotta say, this was one hell of a read. Spider-Man seems to get more brutal the more anxious he gets and the more times he dies. None of these Scions seem anywhere close to the same, so you can never predict what the next one is going to do. I'm beyond curious too if Spider-Man is going to die twice in a row if he wins this next challenge. And who the hell is that creepy guy? Because I don't believe it was just some random guy. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and if you haven't already, like this video to help the YouTube algorithm. Also, subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss out on any of our future videos. And until next time, thanks for kicking it with Keeping It Comic.